Hey guys, Duane here. How's everyone doing? It's a New Year's. So I'm ready to give you my January update on my portfolio numbers. Still not looking good, but what do you expect? We're in a bad economy, right? Still not looking good. But one thing I want you to know is that part of these numbers, and I'll show you in a minute, looks a little worse than it is because I did take out $4,000 this month out of one of my 401ks. So yeah, it's still bad, but looks a little bit worse. So anyway, let's go back and I'll give you an update of where I was when I retired and last month, and we'll go from there, okay? Here you go. So when I retired, top line here, that's where I was with my 401ks and also my cash to give you a total there, okay? Last month, that's where I was in my two 401ks. You see negatives on both, my cash and my totals. And you see those negatives on both. One is much worse than the other. Some of that is due to, investment strategies because the two different companies I have the 401k at, they do have a little bit in different investment strategies. One's more conservative than the other, okay? But it's also depending on where I took the money from as far as the 401k goes as well, okay? So anyway, that's where we stand, where we stood last month and where we stood when I began my retirement back in August of 2021. All right, so that's where we are with that. Now, let me give you just a second little comment here on my channel. Even though, my channel is only 5 weeks old, I'm already getting hit by spammers and bots and stuff like that. So let me tell you one thing here. If you ever see a response from me in our channel, I am never, ever, ever going to ask you to WhatsApp me. Never. Okay? So if you guys see anything like that, anything that looks suspicious or funny, it's not me. Even if it has my little photo there of my beautiful face, it's not me, okay? Second thing I want to mention is thank you guys so much for all the comments. This is exactly what I want. Get some conversation going in people like us that retired with moderate income, that are trying to find ways to, what are we going to do in this economy? That's exactly what I was hoping for. All this back and forth, people commenting on other people and stuff like that. But let me give you just a word of caution here. Before anyone takes any action on any of the advice they get in from me or from any of the people that are commenting, please run it by a professional first, okay? Some of the information may be really good, some not so much. So just do your due diligence before you act on any of the advice that you receive on my channel, including from me, because I am not a financial advisor. Excuse me. I am just giving you information on what I've learned so far and what has worked best for me. Everyone's situation could be different. I mean, there's a lot of general stuff that is applicable to all, I believe. Other stuff, just do your due diligence, okay? Just be your own best advocate here. And if you see some information you like, hey, check it out. But before you implement that, make sure you run it by someone who really knows what they're talking about, a professional, okay? Enough of that. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. My numbers for December updated as of yesterday, which would be the 1st of January, okay? So anyway, what we've got in retirement 401k number one is we are down to $269,000 in 401k one. All right. 401k two, we are down to $116,000 in 401k two. My cash, I've had to take a little bit out this month, a couple $1,000, just living expenses. We're down to 53. So what that gives us is a grand total of $438,000. Now let me put the percentages in here, okay, to show you how much I have dropped in my retirement portfolio since I retired for each of these 401ks. So number one, we're down to that. Number two, we're down to that. So as you can see, in just 1 month's time, I've gone down a little bit, all right? If you look back at December, I mean, what happened to December? Was there anything great about the markets? No. So I didn't expect much more than what these figures are, but there's one little additional bit of information I want to put on here that'll show you why one is down a little bit more than maybe it should be. And that is because out of 401k number one, I took out $4,000. Okay, so that's why maybe by a percentage point or so, I'm a little lower than just the monthly figures would have shown. But you know, I mean, overall, hey, if I look at this, I'm looking at, okay, it's pretty much like status quo for where I was last month. No real big drops. Obviously nothing too positive either though, right? I mean, what do you do? I mean, that's our economy that we're living in now. What can you do? So that's where we are with that. So, you know, if you look at it overall, the totals, and I didn't put anything down there, we've got a total of $548,000 since I retired. If you add all those up, last month we were all the way down to $458. This month we're down to $438 total. Okay. So looking at this, I mean, just adding it up pretty quick, I'm down $110,000 overall since when I retired. Not good, right? Not good. But, you know, I'm still okay as far as like, I'm going to keep to my allocations. I'm not going to do anything drastic here. And another reason this update is so quick this month is that I didn't really implement anything different in strategies in this last month's time. I'm doing everything what I've been doing before, like we've talked about on our channel so far. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my 4% rule for my overall allocations is what I'm living on, taking the 4% out. And in response to a couple of the questions that I've got, I do take out some of my cash. As you can see, I took $2,000 out this month. So that allows me to live on not just the 4%, which would be around $21,000 a year. I'm taking 21 plus a little bit to go up to my living expenses and everything else for the year. So as I mentioned in the comments, you know, I don't know if I mentioned this in the video. I think I did, but my overall monthly expenses are around $2,800 a month. Okay, that includes everything except for, it does not include property taxes. It does not include, you know what? That's about it. It just doesn't include property taxes. So everything is in there, medical, car insurance, all my monthly bills, utilities, everything, about $2,800 a month. So if you add that all out, what does that add up to? We're talking around $32,000 a year, maybe 33. And you know what? I'm comfortable with that. Again, your expenses may be different. That's what you have to figure out before you decide how much do I need to save in order to retire. Expenses are key, guys. Expenses are key. So anyway, not too much, you know, to update you on this month, as opposed, instead of, obviously my accounts have dropped. What do? We're in a bad economy. But besides that, guys, thank you so much for helping this little channel grow so far. Thank you for the new subscriptions we got this month. And wow, what's going on, man? Too many beers? I don't know. Did I drink beer last night? Two non-alcoholic beers, actually. Oh well, what can you do? Anyway, guys, that's it. So hope everyone is having a great beginning of the year. And just remember, we got this. Talk to you soon, guys. I can never find my clicker. What's up with this? Here it is. It's right here. Look, it's right in front of me. Will it work?